Although farmers and other members of the agricultural sector are never really brought up when discussing wealthy empires established across the globe, there's no doubt that the industry has brought us some of the wealthiest families. And with population growth being what it is and farmable land shrinking by the day, it's never been a better time to be a farmer. But who are these wealthy farming families, and what did they do to make it to the top? Well, whether you're a budding farmer in your own right, or just want to know more about what it takes to become successful in the industry, stay right where you are, as we're about to take a look at some of the richest farming families in the world that have made millions doing what they do. So strap yourselves in and get ready for some jealousy, as things are about to get good. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with the notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Number 1. Liu Gonghao and family. The first family on our list is spearheaded by the one and only Liu Gonghao, who is known over the world for his incredible talents and his ability to make something out of nothing. Having grown up as a humble chicken farmer in mainland China, Liu is now considered to be one of the most successful businessmen in the entirety of the country, racking in a net worth of what is assumed to be around $6.6 billion. He took his success on the farmlands and created an organization we all know as the New Hope Group. In essence, this is a conglomerate that controls New Hope Lue, where Liu's daughter actually serves as the chairperson. The story behind Liu's success is actually pretty brilliant and motivating to say the least. Before even starting out with the chicken trade, Liu worked as a technical school tutor until about 1982. He then quit his job and began running a bicycle business together with his 3 brothers. Working with bicycles allowed him to raise the startup capital needed to start breeding quails and chickens, which he then sold to other farmers near his family home in the rural province of Sichuan. After working hard, he was able to raise even more capital, allowing him to make a move into the animal feed industry. This brought about the foundation of the East Hope Group. After an amicable business split from his brothers, the Hope Group is now considered to be the largest animal feed organization in China, producing feed for pigs, ducks, chickens, and fish, with Liu and his family being at the very center of it. What a success story! Number 2. Howard Buffett. Howard Buffett, on the other hand, is the son of Warren Buffett, whose name you might recognize from being one of the richest billionaire investors in the United States. This has allowed Howard to become one of the wealthiest farmers on the continent of North America, which is why he has decided to spend the vast majority of his life on the farm to refine his trade. You'd be mistaken if you thought that Howard was able to become successful because of his father, though, as he took very little financial support as to become one of the top-ranked agricultural millionaires. He has also recently been appointed as the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Howard G. Buffett Foundation, showing his talents extend beyond just farming. Although Howard had all the choices in the world when he was younger, he chose to do things that would establish himself in the industry rather than waste time partying up a storm. He ended up traveling to over 130 different countries, where he documented the challenges of preserving biodiversity and providing sufficient resources to support the ever-growing demands of the Earth's population. Using this information, he returned to the United States, where he incorporated what he had learned, making a name for himself in the industry. It must also be said that the Howard G. Buffett Foundation supports projects in areas of agriculture, water, conservation, nutrition, humanitarian, and conflict unaccompanied person. As such, it's clear that Howard has used his estimated net worth of $200 million to make a difference in the world. There's no doubt that the man has been devoted to the concept of impact investing and leaving a lasting legacy. And despite his luxurious lifestyle, those who have met him have said that he is one of the most down-to-earth businessmen out there, which just makes us like him more. Number 3. Colin and Dale Armour. Next up, we have Colin and Dale Armour, who represent the Millionaire Club from New Zealand, and as a loving couple, they run one of the most lucrative dairy farms in the entirety of the small island's history. Located on New Zealand's North Island, Armour Farm consists of around 13,000 cows for milking, spread over a crazy number of 14 smaller farms. Colin and Dale are also significant shareholders in the corporate business Dairy Holding, which in total owns 59 dairy farms, which consists of around 48,000 cows, producing 17.3 million kilograms of milk solids per year. The couple actually began to develop their dairy empire around 40 years ago after having zero experience in the industry and next to no capital to make use of. Surprisingly enough, Colin and Dale decided to risk it by purchasing 140 cows of their own to share on the farm, with the intention of operating for profit. The risk did, however, end up paying off, with their wealth now being estimated at $240 million. We also can't forget that they also own a significant portion of Dairy Holdings, which has a value of around $535 million. Not bad for a couple of cow farmers, right? Number 4. Harry Stein. Another great in the farming millionaire club is Harry Stein, who's not only an entrepreneur and innovator, but also one of the wealthiest farmers in the world. With his humble beginnings in Dallas County, Iowa, Harry graduated from Central Dallas High School and went on to attend McPherson College in Kansas. After graduating from the Tertiary Institute in 1964, Harry decided to start working for his father's soybean cleaning business back in Adel, Iowa. After working there for a bit, he came across some strange-looking soybean plants in one of the company fields which piqued his interest, insofar as research into seed breeding was concerned. Recognizing the value and potential of both developing and growing newer, higher-yielding soybean varieties, Harry innovated the industry. It was then while checking the soybean lines that he gained an understanding of what a conventional breeding program could bring to the soybean industry and growers. Essentially, this earlier work of his led to the development of his own company, which he used to build an empire. He now makes a fortune by licensing corn and soybean genetics to large multinational companies, such as Syngenta and Monsanto. By just working the farm and keeping an open mind, he now has a net worth of around $3.4 billion. Fans of the brilliant man are often quite surprised to hear that he is mildly autistic and dyslexic, which is why he had a tendency to battle at school and college. That being said, he has never let this get in the way of his drive and ambition, which explains how he was able to make such a huge success out of himself. His company, which you might know as Stein Seeds, is actually the largest private seed company in the world right now, and is responsible for creating some of the most robust and genetically perfect soybeans that are now used all over the world. So if you ever thought success was out of reach, just think of what Harry Stein did, and know you could very well do the same. It just takes quite a bit of work. Stuart and Linda Resnick. Another set of American millionaire farmers can be found in the pair of Stuart and Linda Resnick, who own a company called The Wonderful Company. It all started in 1978 when the Resnicks decided to move into the farming industry by purchasing some of the orange groves in Kern County. After spending some quite amount of time setting up the groves they had bought, Stuart and Linda made a small fortune with the establishment of the Teleflora flower delivery service, which allowed them to buy a number of cheap farms, which were going for next to nothing because of the drought of the late 1980s. Their company was then known as Paramount Farms, and slowly but surely became one of the largest pistachio and almond producers in the world. And considering just how expensive good nuts in the market can be, you can imagine that the Resnicks were making a killing by distributing their products all across the globe. Having now grown their assets and established everything under the Wonderful Company, the Resnicks are responsible for products including, but not limited to, Wonderful Pistachios, Fiji Water, and Palm Wonderful. According to statistics collected over the last few years, it is estimated that around 50% of Americans purchase at least one of the company's products a day, with Halo's mandarin oranges being especially popular. This has resulted in Stuart and Linda Resnick having an estimated net worth of around $4 billion, all of which was earned because of some sound business decisions the two made pretty early on in their careers. It goes to show that having a solid plan and being flexible with the market works. Number 6. Fu Guanming. Fu Guanming is next on our list, and although he might have one of the most difficult names to say, it is a name that is well known all across mainland China. He is currently the chairman of Fujian Suner Development and shares his fortune with his daughter, Fu Fangfang, who currently holds the position of director of the company. And with a net worth of around $1.5 billion, what is it that Guanming does? Well, he actually made his fortune selling poultry to a couple of companies, but after growing his empire and establishing a number of farms of his own, he now sells to the biggest companies in the world. In fact, Mr. Fu is known to supply chicken to the Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants all across mainland China, which are incredibly popular fast food restaurants on that side of the globe. In other words, it goes without saying that Fujian Suner Development Company deals mostly with breeding, slaughtering, and meat processing of all types of poultry, and while his products may make their way outside of mainland China at one point or another, Mr. Fu is mostly concerned with keeping his chicken within the country. The company product range includes a number of frozen chicken products for the food manufacturing industry, wholesale meat markups, and other markets as well, which means that private citizens can also get their hands on some of Mr. Fu's chicken if they really want to, making him incredibly popular. So what do you think about these farming millionaires? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below.